how important is it to really define who you're speaking to early? If you're in a crowded space, you're competing against other brands.
So before you start speaking outwardly, and before you start banging the drum about all that you can provide and offer, you need to have a ton of other conversations. You need to be talking to, potential customers. You need to be getting why you wouldn't use this. Again, it comes back to the research piece, Anne-Marie. If you're having conversations with like live clients trying to figure that out, you need to do the homework first. You need to do the groundwork first, before you go make the plan. So those conversations should be what shape your as I said, your outward marketing, your website copy, your social media stuff. So if you, when you get to talking to actual prospects and leads and stuff like that, you should be in refinement. You should be in a refinement stage rather than a creation space,
Do you think with the shift that we're seeing towards like the role of the landlords coming into the market so much more and kind of operators coming in, that relationship, do you think that step of that research is happening?
It's hard to say right now, but you'll be able to tell in a few years when the ones that haven't done this bit of research at the start and haven't scoped out their market fall on their face, unfortunately, or not that they fall on their face, but they could spend a lot of time hot stepping and trying to figure out where they belong in the market.
I'm thinking about it from the perspective of, like, I suppose co-working spaces traditionally weren't a road you went down if you were looking to be a millionaire. They typically probably were derived from a need for community, driven by the necessity for a space to work. And as you say, kind of hubs for excellence or interest in particular, zones of genius kind of emerged. But I think what's happening now is space is being repurposed, and it is being seen as a financial opportunity. So I wonder where brand goes in that conversation,
It depends who you're selling to. So I had a very interesting chat with a chap in Georgia, who works from a polished, for want of a better expression, a polished co-working space. He went in there, he was promised community and a vibrant, ecosystem and all that kind of stuff. And like he said, where he works is beautiful, but nobody talks to each other. All the things he was promised aren't there. So we had a very, very open conversation about, and you could see from the questions he was asking me, he wanted that community piece. He worked in, he wanted that kind of, he just wanted that kind of interactive kind of environment. So like the idea that this is what co-working is has shifted, and I think it all comes down to who you're selling to. So in that instance, he was sold something that he didn't get. Okay, but the other thing is, if you're taking people that are on FWA or RTO or whatever the acronym we're going to use, they're not your customer in a lot of senses. If their boss is paying the bill, they're the users. The boss is the bill payer. They're the customer, So you need to have a proposition that, and again, so what happens is your end user is your advocate. They're your, but the budget is up here. So you need to arm your user with enough reassurance for their boss that they can upsell it to them or sell it up the line, So in that instance, you need to be marketing the space as a professional environment, 101% Wi-Fi success, good coffee, social events, quiet, focused areas, suitable to bring clients in, ergonomic friendly furniture, all that kind of stuff, so that they can sell it up the line. So again, there's who's your user and who's your customer. Sometimes they're one and the same.
Thanks for tuning in to Flex That Works. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to follow or subscribe wherever you get your podcasts so you don't miss our next episode. Connect with us on LinkedIn, watch the full episode on YouTube, and you can explore free tools and resources over at baseworks.co. This is Flex That Works, powered by Baseworks, here to help you scale your workspace, making it simpler and less stressful.